welcome. Welcome to Water Riff Radio. I am Amanda White, and this is
Jill Marie.
And we're diving into a question that most people probably never ask themselves. Or maybe you ask yourselves, but it's not a priority at that moment. Mm-hmm. Are you cooking with contaminated water? What is in the water you're actually cooking? You know, we think about clean eating, we think about exercising, we read the labels, we choose organic. But sorry, that's another
topic.
I was going to go on a tangent and I decided against it. I put a pause in there. But what if the water we're cooking with, soaking with, or steaming our food with is the most toxic ingredient in the kitchen? Oh, my cat agreed. I don't know if you actually heard that, but she said meow. So
I heard.
You did. So in this episode, we are going to riff on what's hiding in your tap water when you're cooking, how it affects the food you actually eat, and why it's time to really rethink. My cat has got some words right now. And it's time to really rethink the quality of the water we're using, especially when it comes to cooking, eating, showering. But in this episode, it's all about cooking. So let's start with the truth bomb, Miss Jill.
Oh, yeah. You're not just what you eat. You are what you cook your food in, along with what you bathe in, what you wash your hands in, what you brush your teeth in. But imagine, like Amanda had said, like you eat organic, you eat clean food, and then maybe you come home and you wash your fruits and veggies with another chemical, or maybe it's a baking soda, whatever mix that was, vinegar mix that we had. We actually had a previous class on this, if you want to check this out. But then you're adding, I don't want to go onto a tangent. You're adding more chemicals onto the food, which are actually being absorbed by the food instead of emulsifying and releasing those toxins. Regardless, once we put them into boil, bake, roast, air fry, what have you, you're cooking with toxins, whether they're sprayed on the food, inside the food, what have you. So whether you're boiling pasta, making rice, I got some here. We're going to do, I love the science of this. Making rice, steaming veggies, brewing tea, even coffee or soaking beans, whatever, the water that you use ends up inside of your body. And not just that, those toxins, when they go in, they accumulate. It's not like they go in, we drink lots of water and they come out. A lot of these toxins, most of them get stored in your fat cells, your tissue, your fascia, everywhere, and the brain, don't forget the brain. So let's get back to cooking. When heat concentrates toxins. So when you boil water, it doesn't remove most of the contaminants. In fact, it concentrates them. You lose water to steam, but the toxins stay behind. So let's do a visual here. When you have a boil alert or a boil order in your neighborhood, and they say, boil your water before you drink it.
Which those have been more and more that I've seen lately. They keep popping up here and there, and my brain automatically says, oh boy, this is something people actually need to be educated on, because we go right to thinking boil alert, let's go boil. Hold up. Because what does that actually do, and what does that actually create, especially with the contaminants that you're not even sure what they actually are.
Right, for your area. And I mean, if heat concentrates the toxins, well, guess what? What about the microbiologicals and the heavy metals? Like, it doesn't just boil them out into the air. And then if you do have a boil alert and they say, hey, drop some chlorine in your water and let it sit for a while.
Again, chlorine is used as a mass destruction weapon.
Right, exactly.
Drop that bomb.
Boom. So toxins, they're absorbed in our food and our tea and our coffee and all of that, especially porous foods like rice, pasta, potatoes, and beans. And whatever's in your water gets absorbed by the fibers of what you eat. So imagine like long cook times, long exposure, slow cooking, simmering, or even pressure cooking with contaminated water allows more time for chemical absorption in the food.
Hmm.
So when you're cooking with like municipal water, depending on where you are in the world, you're unknowingly ingesting obviously chlorine and chloramine. And chlorine, of course, we need these in our pipes. We just don't want them in our household, but we don't want them in our food. Chloramine is the hardest chemical to filter, if you know anything about chloramine. Chloramine, again, is just the combination of chlorine and ammonia mixed to cancel out the smell so you drink more of it and don't have a problem with it.
Until you do.
But then you have lead and heavy metals, especially from older plumbing. PFAS and forever chemicals, these are petroleum based chemicals, which don't break down with heat. They just don't break down with heat. They actually well, if you've ever burnt plastic and heated it, yeah.
Great.
Wonderful. Pharmaceuticals, pesticides, and VOCs. VOCs are in the water, and those are your volatile organic compounds like paint, nail polish, cleaning products down your drain, shampoos, anything that really goes down the drain, anything that we've used to clean or in our life. And then, of course, you have chlorine and chloramine that react with organic matter in the food to create trihalomethanes. Those are the vaporous gases. So now when you're heating this water up, just like your shower, refer to our shower class. Oh my goodness. It's good information. I mean, this is not to instill fear in you. It's just to understand, to educate like what we're doing and how we can do better.
Because when you know, and it's hard to go backwards. So you do better each time. So the more you know, the more you're going to fill yourself in, the better you're going to try to do.
Absolutely.
And it keeps us going too, because it's like we want to start learning more and more about this stuff so we can educate on something that we're not really educated on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the one thing that we actually need the most of. Like we are over X amount percent water. It's debatable, but at least 60, some say 70. But, and all of our organs are water and they need water.
Mm-hmm.
So this is huge.
And especially our brain. Like if our brain isn't getting water, it pulls from our organs and our tissues. And that's when, if
Everything.
we're dehydrated, we're going to have some issues going on, symptoms that we think are related to something not even water.
So again, I think I'm gonna say this in every class. When in doubt, when you have some symptoms, when you're like, oh, I think ... just say, I need a glass of water. I am gonna shoot for, usually eight to 12-ish glasses, depending on the size. Shoot for that. Make it a little challenge. Make it a fun challenge. It doesn't have to be like,
Right?
but like, we need water. Like, see how you feel once you start drinking a little more water. When you're like, oh, I think, drink some water and see how you feel.
Well, and think about too, if you're kind of aiming for, you're thinking, oh my God, 8 glasses of water. I mean, it could be 4-ounce glasses of water, however you interpret it, but go by general rule of thumb is half of your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh, 100 and whatever, 20, go with 60 ounces of water a day. It varies per person because we're not all the same. We're not all the same. But go ahead with these toxins, Miss Amanda. I just started in on all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jill, if you want to continue, I know this is what like kicks you into gear. So if you want to take it away, I will gladly share.
I get super pumped for this.
You do. And it shows, and I actually appreciate that. So if you want to take this away, you just watch her go.
Well, I've seen so many people that these things are linked to their DNA expression. And while heavy metals don't affect everyone in the same way, plastics don't affect everyone in the same way. But when we have situations that we don't know where we got them from, we thought they're genetic or something like that, it's very alarming to realize that we might have got them in our water and our food, more so our water. Water is the easiest place to carry the most toxins to the most people and be more impactful. And that's why, well, my passion is water and just educating people on what's in it. We'll go on to, we did chlorine and chloramine. Lead is a neurotoxin with no safe level for children. It accumulates over time, affecting IQ, behavior, and hormone balance. Imagine having a symptom, including a hormone imbalance or behavioral issue. What if it's actually lead? Moving on to PFAS, linked to endocrine disruptors, cancer, immune suppression, and now found in 97% of Americans. Mind you, pregnant women are drinking water and eating food. It's now showing up in newborn babies already. They don't even get a chance.
When you know better, you do better. I mean, really, like that's really what it's going to come down to.
Mm-hmm.
Like just being informed of all of this. And if it continues to get worse, where does that leave us eventually?
Mm.
And we want to continue to raise our vibrations and to do better and make sure we are helping in any chance we get. Like that's really what this comes down to.
Absolutely.
You know, we want a fighting chance in the world.
Well, it's just about just living your life. Like, who wants to get old? I mean, we start to fear aging because, and we tie back all of our symptoms to just getting old. It's not just getting old.
Water.
Yes. It's the newest, latest, and greatest toxins and pharmaceuticals and all the things. So we'll move on. Arsenic. Arsenic is often found in rice cooked in tap water. And let me just say, I've recently did not know this as well. Rice should be rinsed and cleaned before it's even cooked because it carries arsenic. I had no idea. No idea.
Well, can you repeat that one more time?
That rice it should be washed before it's even cooked because it has arsenic in it. Okay.
Yep. Well, I mean, if you think about rice going into the pan, I'm trying to think, I was imagining something. Think about it, like you put the cup of water in, which hopefully that's clean, filtered water.
Right.
But then you put the rice in and what does it do? It gets all muddy, like murky. And it's like, what is all that stuff coming off of that?
I'm going to start this process because I'm almost done with this section. We're just going to. This is chlorinated. This is OTO drops that just lets you know that there's chlorine in the water. So this was not
yellow.
This was not from my house, by the way.
Jill now has to go get water before our classes from someone else's house because her house
I'm clean.
Is clean.
Even my water that I wash my clothes in is completely tox free. And I am, oh my gosh, it's a game changer. If you don't think you need clean water to wash your clothes, think again. Okay, so moving on, I'm going to actually dump this cup of rice in here. And we're just going to see what happens. We're going to act like we're cooking it, but there's no heat here. So arsenic, if you didn't know, is linked to bladder, lung, and skin cancers. Do you see it turning lighter? I love this. These toxins are also lipophilic, meaning that, again, they store in your fat cells and bioaccumulate, which is they build up faster in your system. Did you see that turn white? Now I'm cooking this, I'm stirring it. I have no heat though. I'm boiling my rice. Oh, yay. You remember all that chlorine in there?
I was going to say, what happened to the yellow?
We're going to pour this water in here. Just so you see, I'm not doing anything different. We're going to put some more drops in here to look for some more chlorine. I don't see any chlorine.
Me neither. Which means
it's in your food. So that's
all that chlorine is in those rice.
This is, again, not just chlorine, but your microbiologicals, your heavy metals, your pharmaceuticals, like it's in your food. And I love
like pharmaceuticals, we really are talking, because we have had a few questions, but we really are talking like antidepressant, antibiotics, any medications you're on. Because remember, I mean, when I was growing up, it was always flush those down the toilet, which takes it into the water. And also when we're taking it, again, we're flushing it through ourselves. No water is new. Everything is recycled. So it all gets recycled back into things.
It does.
Yeah, I know. It's good times.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So that innocent bowl of oatmeal that you made, or that nice new batch of rice that you made, it could be dosing your body with all of these toxins every day. And when you have little kids in your household, they are so much more sensitive to this than we are. And especially nowadays, it was even different 10 years ago. The amount of toxins that we had, regulations were different. And we just gain new toxins probably every week. So it's worth it just even to protect our kids and our animals that can't speak for themselves. So yeah, I love those experiments. So
did you say you love this experiment?
I do. I love the experiments. I love like being able to see it, you know.
That is for sure. You do. You do love those. And I love those too, because you love those. And I think it's very eye-opening to see what we're actually talking about as well. You know?
Well, I mean, anybody can say anything, right? But when you see it,
there's no denying that.
Right.
And you can even try that at home. Like if you need a link for the drops, let us know. Get a glass of water, drop the things in there, just like you've seen us do it in 2 videos now, maybe even 3 videos now.
Yeah. And you can get these from a pool store too. It's not like they're anything special. So,
but if you're not sure, like we will gladly send you the link. Do these for yourself as well, because it'd be cool. You're like a little chemist that's testing your stuff at your location.
Yeah.
And then you can share your videos with us. That would be cool. That would be amazing. And then you could tell us what you learned. So we're all learning together.
Absolutely.
And doing better.
Doing better. Getting healthier.
So there are people that are affected a little more than others when it comes to risk of contaminated water. Let's think children. They're still developing. they're still developing their brains, their bodies, their functions. So the more toxins that go in, the quicker they fill up. I mean, for lack of a better way to say it.
Yeah.
So we have to really, like Jill just mentioned, like we have to take care of the kiddos because they're defenseless.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just relying on us. So again, when I know I do better and when I know I do better for myself and for the people I know and love
Mm-hmm.
and family, like know and love. So pay attention to that because they rely on us. It's not like they can go out and do their own research. Pregnant women are also more at risk because you're doing it for two. So the toxins can cross. So toxins can cross in any way, the placenta, getting into the bloodstream, into like any way, shape, or form that can hinder the development of the child. In one of our companies, if you do listen to one of the stories that we present, like that is, Jill, you know this a little better, but like this actually happened to someone in the company that we represent, and this is where his water journey started. You know more about that actually than me because he actually had a child with a deformed hand, so that got him like, what happened? Like I don't understand. So he went down rabbit holes and he found out it was mercury poisoning that actually created the deformity. And then from there he just started talking and going to Supreme Courts.
Yeah, actually, it was his wife was pregnant with their son. They even traced it back to she was 5 weeks pregnant and went for a routine dental cleaning and ended up with mercury contamination because they didn't have any water filtration to filter out that kind of stuff. But yes, he did take it to Supreme Court, and he was one of the single most instrumental in getting these changes into the dental and medical offices, this filtration system. So it's changed a lot for a lot of people, especially the medical industry. Yeah. All from his son coming out with a deformed hand. Isn't that crazy?
And it's powerful to know like these do have severe impact depending on how much you're actually taking in. So just be aware. Like that's why we're really doing these classes. So you're aware of, you get the choice, I guess would be a better way to put it. You get the choice. I know what's in that, but am I going to drink that or am I going to drink better? Like that's your choice. We're just here to inform you. So you have that choice.
Absolutely.
And then we've got people with autoimmune diseases. Obviously, their immunity is battling left and right. Like that works in so many different ways, but any autoimmune disease is fighting something. So the cleaner it has, the better it's going to do. The more toxins it has, the more clogging it's going to happen. You got slower detoxes, higher inflammation. You got anything to add to that?
Yeah, our detox pathways are very much compromised when you're accumulating all of these toxins and you can't detox quick enough because it's accumulating. Oof. That's all. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, I was like, oh yeah.
And then we've got the elderly, like they're getting older. Again, their bodies, depending on how they've treated them, obviously. I mean, there's some 90-year-olds that are crushing life. However, the most of us, or most humans, don't really think about things until they start feeling things. And then we're like, we want to reverse that. We want to reverse that. But if you're just loading yourself with toxins, you've got reduced kidney and liver function. You have less flow, if you will, throughout the body. So the more toxins that are going to build up. And then we also have our babies, our fur babies, like our pets. They are relying on us. And These poor little things are walking around on carpet, which is toxic. They are eating and drinking out of plastic bowls from the store. Um, all the things. We need to do a little better for them. Some
Mhm.
drink out of toilets. Again, water quality here.
Right, right. Oh,
And they have smaller bodies. So they get faster exposure. They can't battle it as quick. And many of the food is cooked in water that they eat.
not to mention the food. And I will say, vets do not even address water with animals ever, 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 ever. That's all I'm going
Which
to say.
it should all be addressed. Water should be the first thing addressed.
With anything, nobody says, "Hey, how much water are you drinking?" I
I
truly
know.
feel like, yes, like water is one of the foundational elements, period. It's water mindset. If you really have a crappy mindset, it really doesn't matter what you eat or drink. It really doesn't. And when you have a great mindset, maybe a higher frequency, yes, less things bother you. You could possibly have less problems. However, the cleaner the water, the cleaner the body, the physical part.
Mm, yes, that was beautiful.
So what can we do about that,
My cat just locked her.
Amanda?
They're playing between the door. I'm like, the door just shut for some reason. And then all I heard was meow. So what
Speaking
can
of our
we,
pets,
I know. Oh, precious. So you're asking me what we can do about this? Well, there's a bunch of things we can actually do about this. First thing, figure out what you're cooking with. Test your water. Get your water tested. Oh, goodness. Hold on. I'm so stinking sorry. Test your water. Test your water.
test your water.
Okay, hold on.
Definitely. If you care about any of this, look at the cookware that you're cooking in, look at the water that you're cooking in, maybe you're steaming in, things like that. And quite honestly, I'm just going to let you know, if you'd love a free water consult with us, just reach out. We can give you what your water is in your area. We can help you. And you can even do it for yourself. It's nothing special that we do. You have access to the same information that we do. We just can explain it to you quite a bit more for the most part. But see what's in your water. Even if you have well water, if you look up this report in the municipal, you'll know what is in the groundwater. So that is very, very helpful.
Yes. My cat, oh my goodness, she's gonna
I
drive
know
me
you're.
nuts today. The next thing, I don't know exactly what you listed, Jill.
Hmm.
What did you say?
Oh, I just said kind of look at what you're cooking in, your
Okay,
cookware, your water, and all of that. Yeah. Because
okay.
I
She
mean,
just slammed the door again. She's just gonna stay shut in here. So I apologize. My cat has taken over my area over here. It's crazy.
that's okay. She missed you today.
I know. We went to the lake. It was great. Okay, getting back on topic. Watch what you're cooking. So test your water. Watch what you're cooking.
Hmm.
Watch what you drink out of realistically. Because remember, everything soaks into certain things. Just like Jill with the rice, chlorine sinks into the rice. So wash everything. Make sure you have quality water. Just like Jill said, we are here to help you. We are here to give you certain solutions that you ask for, depending on how you answer certain questions.
Hmm.
It's not a yes, this is exact. No, it's these are our options. If any of these sound great for you, let's go. If
Hmm.
not, no worries. but now you're informed of what your options actually are. And if you have any questions, we're here to answer them versus push you.
Absolutely. And we all are so unique, our bodies and our DNA and how different chemicals affect us. So it's actually quite fun when we start dissecting the water that is in your area and maybe any symptoms that you might have that you might think aren't even related to it. Um, Not that it is, it could be. And it's just kind of fun. It's fun. Because imagine if you are on medications, you're not feeling well, you don't have energy, and the easiest fix that you can make is a filtration system. I would be smacking my doctor. Like, why didn't you tell me about water? Oh, that would be amazing. So that's why we're here. I just wanted to put that out there because yes, we don't take a lot of time to do that because we've been doing it for so long and it's just become second nature. So,
And sometimes we really, I guess, take water for granted as well. You know, like we've grown up on it. We know we're supposed to drink it, and that's that.
mhm.
You know, the more people I talk to, the more people I realize don't really know. And that's where we're like, oh my goodness, let's just educate like we should be educated on this
Yeah,
because it runs our whole body.
absolutely.
Because your food is only as clean as your water, as the water it touches. And you are 70+% water.
Mhm.
So how clean are you?
Absolutely. We don't put gas in this body. We put water in it to fuel it. So there.
And you never know, maybe the more water you drink, the less wrinkles you get. That is something I've been toying around with lately. It keeps popping up. Like,
Mhm.
if you start seeing, it's like you're dehydrated. And I'm like, what?
Mhm.
Okay, let me up my water intake and see. And then it becomes fun.
Mhm.
It's like, would that really? It's like, let me take a picture real quick. Let me check that in a month.
Absolutely. Well, the skin being the largest organ,
Yep.
I want to say in the body, but it's on the body. It
Mm-hmm.
needs water too. So when we're putting creams on and oils and stuff, hoping to smooth that wrinkle out, it's like it just needs to plump up with some water. Just need to be hydrated. How amazing is that?
That's amazing. Maybe it's
Mhm.
just that easy. It could be that easy.
It's my motto. Life isn't supposed to be complicated, but we just make it that way.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we sure do.
Oh gosh. So closing
Simple
up.
is my
Uh-huh.
simple.
Simple, simple, simple.
Would you like to close us on out, Miss Jill?
Well, certainly. So just keep that in mind. If you're looking for water solutions, get a hold of us, reach out, and we would love to talk toxins with you, whether it's municipal or if you have a well. We got you covered on the wells too. Every single one of them is different, and we can talk to you about those. So reach out with any questions, and we will see you next week in Pure
Dun,
Water
dun,
Stream.
dun. And if you know someone that's going to benefit from this, please share. Please share with them. We would appreciate that. And we can't wait to get to know you, to talk to you, and see what kind of water solutions we can provide for you.
Yes, absolutely. So, with that said, have a great evening.
Bye.
Bye.